All right, y'all, we're going to find the inverse algebraically. Luckily, they're not doing tons of crazy inverses with y'all. It's just the concept we're doing, which I kind of am good with. So let's talk about how to solve these. So first thing you want to do, remember the inverse is when you switch the x and y. Mister, there's no y in this problem. You're kind of right. You're kind of wrong. What you're going to first do is you're going to write the problem out like this. Replace the f of x with a y. That's how you're going to start. So now we have a y and we have an x. And what is an inverse? You have to flip it. You switch it and then solve. It's very weird, but check it out. I have x equals 1/2 y plus 8. Now, here's the good news. Desmos, if you type this in exactly, will show you the graph of this. Now, if the problem is saying graph it algebraically, like I got to see the rest of the answer, but more or less this is what it is. So what do you do when you have this? Now that you have this, you solve for y. So that means get y by itself. So let's go ahead and put this -8 on both sides. Y'all's equation work is pretty rough. I'll have a lot of kids say, I don't know what that means to solve for y. That's rough in Algebra 2 if you don't know what that means. It means get y by itself, and that's that. And if you're struggling with it, I mean, welcome to modern math in America. I don't know what the deal is. With that said, this is what we're doing. So I'm going to keep going on this one. Y equals, our 1/2 y equals x minus 8. How do you clear the fractions? This says 1/2 times y. This says 1/2 times y. So you have to do the opposite. You have to divide by 1/2. But here's the deal about the rules of fractions. When you divide by fractions, you have to do the rule where it's keep, change, flip. So watch. I'm going to have the fractions up here. If I had a random problem that was 2/3 divided by 1/2, I would have to go through the process of saying keep, change, flip. So it would look like this when it was all said and done. It would look like this. And then the rules for multiplication are straight across. 4/3. Now you're supposed to have this down. Again, modern math. Here we are. So this is this is 4/3 here. So why am I showing you that? Because if you divide by -1/2, you have to flip. You have to flip. So when you divide by -1/2, you end up actually multiplying by 2/1. So it's funny that it looks like that, but that's the case. So when you do this, you're going to multiply both sides by 2/1. And that's the best way to get this done. So when you want to clear a fraction, multiply by the opposite of it. So this is just 2. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 8 is -16. And then this clears away. 1/2 times 2y, this basically gets y by itself. And you now have your answer. Y equals 2x minus 16. That's how you solve it algebraically. I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's replace this crap. Y equals 2/3 x minus 5. Now we have our y in there. Let's go ahead and switch our y and x. X equals 2/3 y minus 5. Now to get the y by itself, you're going to add 5 on both sides. There we go. You get x plus 5 equals 2/3 y. Now remember, this says 2/3 times y. So to divide by this, you have to kind of multiply by the reciprocal. It's weird, but that's just how it is. So you multiply both sides by 3/2. By 3/2. And you end up with 3/2 x, because that goes together, plus, when you multiply 3/2 times 5, I'll do it up here, 3/2 times 5. 5 actually has a 1 underneath. And what you're going to do is multiply straight across. 15/2. Again, these are rules you're supposed to have, but like I said, welcome to America. 2/3 y times 3/2 will just cancel out and end up being y when it's all said and done. And for those wondering how that's the case, I'll show you up here. 2/3 times 3/2. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. And that reduces down to 1. So the 1 is kind of hidden right there, and you have your answer. This is your inverse. Good job.